Well, all right. Look at that. Looks like we launched at 7. The intro went fine. Oh, my goodness. I'm feeling pretty good about this.
Are we streaming in HD this time, sir?
I don't know. I have no idea what I look like right now.
You look good on my end, but that doesn't mean...
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that means anything at all. Let's wait for some folks to jump on. We actually have had a couple of people go back and watch these videos after they were live, believe it or not.
And where can they go watch those videos, sir?
And if you are one of those people doing that right now, thank you. And I'm sorry in advance.
Greg, where can they go watch our video?
Well, they can go to YouTube and look up Dead End Outfitter on YouTube. They can go to Facebook, watch it on Facebook. It'll be stored there. Mr. Chesley, how we doing? Please tell us, sir, that we're both looking as handsome as possible, not pixelated in any fashion.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Due to his absence at the last event I invited him to, I will be creating a poll in our team chat to nominate him for being Flakes and his father callsign Frosted, I think.
Oh.
Because they've been a little flaky and frosty.
Well, and his son.
I said it.
Michael and Mike. Remember, Ches or Ches and Grits or Michael. That's Ches.
Ches
Mike
and
Pops.
Yep.
Mike is Pops.
Ches is Flake.
Frosted
and
Flakes.
Pop is going to be Frosted. Yep.
Oh! Ow! Ow! You finally got the hint, he says. That hurts. That hurts.
No, what happened?
Because I abuse him all day. So Toucan doesn't mind. You didn't see the comment?
No. Posted in the let's see here.
Happy New Year's to you too, Edward. Thank you for joining. Absolutely appreciate it. It has been it has been a good New Year so far. Wasn't a great one leading up to it. Most of you know I died. I got the flu and it was terrible. Almost a year to the day when I got COVID. I think I got it in December last year, and it was just as bad as COVID when I got COVID. Man, it really was. The body aches. I didn't leave the couch for 3 days, which was a terrible mess to clean up. It was I don't recommend getting influenza A to anybody. Absolutely not. Don't get the flu. Yeah, definitely sad face, brother. Definitely sad face. But I'm good now. I'm good. It's New Year, and I've actually I've decided I am doing the 50-year-old challenge. It's nothing specific anywhere else. It's just for me. This year I turned 50. I've got until May 26th of this year to turn, and I turned 50. And between now and then, I want to be down at my proper fighting weight of 135. I want to be in non-painful shape, so I don't want to move and hurt every time I move. So the goal really is better diet, really more stretching than anything else, but getting back into good physical strength. So anybody's welcome to join me. I was thinking about actually documenting the progress. It's hard for me to do that though. Toucan knows this pretty well. Anybody knows this well. It all seems very self-serving. I hate putting things on like that. It seems self-serving. The only reason I thought about documenting it was because I thought anybody thought they can't do it, by all means, feel free to jump in. I'm here with you. Since we get 7 people watching, I'm only seeing, by the way, if anybody's watching anywhere other than I guess Facebook, YouTube, and then we actually have Twitch. Nice, Noah. Nice. Sorry to hear that. There's always another round. You can always fight back. She's a tiny little redheaded girl. You could take her. I'm sure of it. Just watch out
Push
for her dad.
over.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the initial is hard getting the habit in place. Getting rid of the carb addiction, um, and finding things to replace that, finding things that you actually like and will matter to replace it. Um, that's the hardest. That's the hardest thing. My goal was to do it and save some money at the same time, which again sometimes difficult, but it's not impossible. So let's see, 7:06. Give it just a couple more minutes. I hope everybody's having a good New Year so far. I know we're only 4 days in. I really hope it's going well for everyone. This is going to be a huge, huge year to come.
Oh yeah.
With so many things coming up. I had some of the most invigorating phone calls today. Very, very positive things happening, and a lot of people looking to help push those things forward. So, really, really looking forward to it. Can't wait to fire Toucan again. Always feels good to do that. What are you doing?
You can try. I have places to go, but I want to stay. You can try.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're welcome to leave.
Oh, shut up.
I tried to get rid of you so many times.
Whatever. In a couple of minutes here, we'll do a rundown of local events, upcoming local events in the state of Florida.
So, we're today's topic. Did you want to do the events first? You want to run through the topics?
Yes. Before.
All right. Well, again, feel free to kick that one off.
Well, that goes on. No, ladies and some gentlemen, some local events happening in your state. Omega Strain 2 by Mind Game Productions, written and hosted by the fabulous Mac himself, up at Wayne's World in Ocala, Florida. It is a immersive zombie roleplay. It is heavily implied you should dress up. It is heavily implied it's going to be chaos, and it is definitely implied that it is a limited gun, limited ammo, desperate attempt for humanity to survive the zombie apocalypse. This game was put on back burner for a while just due to the situation. Not exactly a great time to make analogies about getting sick, but anyway, so the game series is coming back. It's an awesome event. It's happening January 14th again. That's at Wayne's World in Ocala, Florida. Great event host, Mind Game Productions. Moving on from that, down to our southern brothers and sisters down in Homestead, Florida. The Tryhards are hosting the Operation Xmas game at the Matrix Paintball and Airsoft field. I've been to that field. I like it quite a bit. One of the rare fields in the state of Florida that is completely covered in trees. You're always shaded. Awesome location. Awesome hardcore group of people running that event by the fabulous Tia and Laz themselves of, again, the Tryhards. Check that out. It's January 7th. Again, that is January 7th at Matrix Tactical in Homestead, Florida.
Hey, Mo, how you doing? By the way, before you go any further, the two events that Toucan just mentioned, switch those around their dates. Is, if I'm not mistaken, the Christmas game is this weekend, and Mind Game Productions game is
January
the following.
7th.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
You said them out of
I
order.
did. I'm reading off a piece. I'm reading off a screenshot. January 14th, January 7th.
And my job is to tell you when you're wrong, and I do a wonderful job at that. You keep me employed. So, hey Mo, how you doing, baby?
Next event, Mini Milsim 5 at Wayne's World. It is a Milsim operation by Striker Airsoft. Again, that is in Ocala, Florida. That is March 3rd to the 4th. It's going to be a very awesome AO. Again, Wayne's World is just a great field. It's one of the few fields in the state that has this crazy thing called elevation. It's going to be a really fun themed Milsim event. Mini Milsim, if I may say. Going to be super fun. Check it out there. And those are upcoming local Florida games. Yeah, check them all out.
with one exception, I imagine.
Oh, well, if I forgot, would you like to go in depth at something that might be fantastic to talk
Yeah, I don't
about?
know. I mean, maybe it's just me. Um, Possibly we could talk about our event. I don't know. And it is
Oh, what's it
happening
called?
after after the two upcoming, and before the Mini Wilson. But I mean, whatever. It's up to you. So Clash of the Titans, happening February 3rd to 5th in Immokalee, Florida, at the old Hendry County Prison. Used to be called the Forest Center, CQC, the Ranch. There's a lot of different names for it.
Altair
It's
Trading Solutions.
It
Yeah.
was Altair at one point. 1,200 acres, 2 square miles. This is the first time in 4 years that the property's been, the entire AO has been used. Prior to that, the past 4 years, it's only been the prison. Even as recent as as last month's event down there, this is the first time that they've opened it back up to the entire AO. We've got it. Some of the additions to that, along with the prison, which is fantastic. We do have the shoot houses. Used to be called ISO camp, which is where the barracks were, and that's where check-in was, and vendor row, and all of that. Now we've actually put that in play. All of the buildings have been redone. They're all shoot houses now. They're all populated shoot houses. We're being provided non-toxic smoke in varying degrees, anywhere from just for dim lighting to actual dark blackout. We've got on the other side of the prison and the back side of the prison is all that field area there. We've got the airfield. We've got the barn. The entire AO is going to be in play. We've got many vehicles on play from in attendance, as well as vehicles being provided by us. Again, a lot of things that never happened before that we're putting in place now. You guys probably have read about it. If you haven't read about it, we did. You've got deployable mobile aid stations now, so there's no more waiting for the CAS evac vehicle to come around. No more walking a mile and a half back to your spawn. These are actually mobile spawn points, and they're deployable. Each side gets 3. We've got deployable cover, hard and soft cover. Each side gets over 100 feet total, 4 25-foot camo netting with plywood. You call in for an airdrop of a utility airdrop that comes in, and that's something else that we've added in. We're getting more and more sponsors. We get a new sponsor every couple of days. The most recent, if you haven't seen the banner page, most recent sponsors that just dropped. Am I saying this right? Hefe Airsoft. Am I saying it right?
Hefe Airsoft.
Yeah, down in Miami. I've never said it out loud. I've only ever read it, so saying it out loud. And we've also got Lancer Tactical has jumped on board with us. We've got and a myriad of others, including CQC, including we got. I actually love this one, to be honest with you. We've got Black Tiger Airsoft, a sister field of ours, who's actually coming down. Danny McKnight, he's coming down. He's I believe he's vending as well, but he's a sponsor. Miss Lori Watson, she's coming in to vend as well. Third Coast, we've got Airsoft Junkies, we got Tactical Imaging. So many different sponsors. People just lining up to support it. Guys, I got to tell you, without saying anything else, EVIC alone really, really, really set the bar for the raffle. They gave twice as much as what we were requesting, and the prizes were one of the prizes so good. I really wish I had very low integrity. I would keep it. It's actually an awesome raffle prize. So we got a lot going on for you guys. Really excited. One of the other things that we did decide to do.
Pump the brakes, and to make sure everybody's heard, they shout out to Tactical Imaging, Echo 4, and very obvious to say, but Veterans for Airsoft and Third Coast Airsoft. Yep. Yes, just making sure that's all out there. Since we're talking about sponsors,
Oh, I mean, I know I missed a bunch. I know I definitely didn't name them all. We've got I think we've got like 15 sponsors right now. I definitely didn't name them all. So I was trying to go off the dome. But I mean, absolutely. Well, VFA, that one almost goes without saying. Absolutely, VFA in there because Freddie Flux, Freddie Lux. It used to go by Freddie Flux. I don't know, I just keep saying it wrong.
Flux
From
capacitor.
VFA,
Oh,
yeah, right. The owner of VFA. He's going to be your green CO, and obviously Dale Papka with TCA. He's going to be your tan CO. We've got. What do we got here? So people making fun of me. Here we go. There it is. And so so many sponsors. The sponsorship is fantastic. I really I couldn't ask for a better support from them and from you guys. We decided to not raise. I know I originally said early tickets were discounted. I decided not to raise the ticket price. It just I don't know. When it comes to some of this stuff, I try to follow trends, and I just opted not to do it. I don't know, man. It's not about the money. It's not. It's about seeing how good we can make this thing. So, really, if you guys can just get out there and have a good time, then that's all that matters. Here's Brandon Schwartz. Let's go. Yeah.
Check the comments. You're dyslexic, Papa. You're dyslexic, Papa. Let it be known.
I am not dyslexic. Never mind. So yeah, I can't. I mean, I can't say no. February 3rd through the 5th, guys. We're trying to bring. I said it last night. I happened to be on Players Wanted from the barracks, and I mentioned it last night. I've said it so many times before. The former Doomsday Airsoft opened up the DEO. If it wasn't for them, I still don't think we'd be playing at it. There's been a void. Yep. There's been a gap, and our ability to be able to fill that gap first with North vs. South 3 that we did last year, and then now being able to bring Clash of the Titans and do it in such a big way. It feels great. It's not something I ever thought we would do. So,
and with our peers, with people we respect, which really is, it's something to talk about.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're talking about, we went, honestly, if I could just for a quick second, 6 years ago,
anyway.
5 years ago, between you and me, we were barely, we were companies in name, and we trying to run some little airsoft stuff. I sold BBs and the occasional pistol. We were attending these events. We were going to TCA events, going to Doomsday events. I was going to Black Ops Bristol for the VFA event. These are all we were attendees for something like this, and now we're running alongside these guys. They're playing for us. This is, to me, it's such an amazing thing. It really is such a good feeling. I'm incredibly grateful for it, and to be on the shoulders of the entire community like that is fantastic. Cue the short jokes. No, nobody. Good. All right, got away with that one. So yeah, if you guys are looking for the info on that one, obviously go to the website, deadendoutfitters.net. Find it on Facebook here under Dead End Outfitters. Fresh takes. You go for Clash of the Titans. Anything you need to know. There is something I want to address real quick. We'll do it publicly here. I'm going to send it back out. I got a question about shotguns. Kev, what's going on, brother? Got a question about shotguns and how are shotguns treated, and it was brought to my attention. Not only do we not have it in our rule set, but I couldn't find it in anybody's rule set anywhere dealing with shotguns. So the decision for shotguns, it may or may not make it into the rule set in time, but shotguns are going to be treated just like a rifleman or an SMG class. Shotgun comes in shooting under 1 joule. It can be a full auto shotgun, and it can be used indoors. Shotgun at between 1 and 1.55 joules, semi-auto only, and Yeah, semi-auto only. So just like a rifleman class. Nothing over 155 joules. Your shotgun can shoot between 1 and 3 round. Actually, I think there are some that shoot 6. Um, but whatever its classification, whatever it is allowed on the gun, it can shoot. So if it's a spread, if it's a single, the gun is allowed to do that. But again, whatever it chronos at is the classification stays at. So
More likely than not, the startup to that sentence was incredible.
yeah,
More likely than not, it will make it into the rules at some point, probably by this weekend or the beginning of next week, just so there's no mystery to the one singular guy that wants to bring a shotgun to the event. So, thinking that'll get added.
Noah just ordered a Fab Arm STF 12.
Ooh.
Meanwhile, I have an entire wall of shotguns here in the store. Could have talked to me, but that's okay. That's okay. There's a lot of other vendors in the world that you can go to. Just know that you're dead to me now.
Your disappointment is immense. Oh my Lord.
So, that's actually a good. You know what? I can use that as a segue.
Here we
for
go.
Our topic this evening, we're talking about shotguns, and the topic this evening is basically his accessories. And the good, the bad, and the unnecessary. So, Bulldog went ahead and he dressed one up, just gently dressed it up, the other day, and he dressed up
Mr. Rob by himself.
He dressed up the SGR 12, and just threw just a couple of little things on there. Actually, I should turn it around so you can see. Put the drum mag on. He put the optic on. He put the flashlight on, just to kind of dress it up, see what it would look like, right? So talking about accessories, things like that. What's necessary, what's not necessary, what's cool to have, and what's just absolute overkill. And this is definitely a would love to hear from the viewers on this one. What you guys have, what you think is a necessity on every gun, what you think you see all the time that's just ridiculous, and if you're not sure what to get. So
as someone that uses their Tokyo Marui SCR-12 religiously, it's a lot of extra hardware.
Yeah, no. Gabe, I can't say if it'll be too late or not. If tickets sell out, then they sell out. I would tell you, it's hopefully no. Let's put it that way. We always seem to have a mad dash, the last 10, 12 days. So there's tickets left over. So hopefully no, it won't be too late. I would say just keep checking the site to make sure that tickets are still available. Yeah, I mean, honestly, an optic and a flashlight like that on that shotgun, especially, that shotgun weighs a ton. Put with the drum mag on it makes it even heavier. Are those things necessary? The flashlight's not a bad idea. It's got a pressure switch. Shells. It's got a pressure switch on it, so a shotgun's designed for breach and clear. So entering a room, having a flashlight, probably not a terrible idea. An optic, it's a red dot. You're not really looking for accuracy out of a shotgun, but I mean, tell me I'm wrong.
With that gun, anything past 100 feet, you might as well be throwing rocks. Within 100 feet, they're yours. It's welcome to your dojo. So I don't know, an optic, a red dot, a wide red dot. I know there's a couple Reddit pages that talk about, and they don't sell it anymore. They used to sell this extra wide red dot that people would slap on that gun. Not because it was a high quality dot, but because it was so wide, you wanted tunnel vision looking down. I mean, literally, I think it was a reference. Yeah, like this wide the lens, and as I mean, like, come on, like, yeah. So optic.
So in reference to guns with accessories on them. So this is my Evo Scorpion, right? And if you count, there's actually only 3 accessories on here. I've got the dot carry handle, which is it's a red dot. It's actually got a laser, and obviously there's a carry handle as well. Spec box with a flashlight. The problem is this is a little bit overkill on this because this not only has a flashlight, but it does have a laser on it as well. So I can double laser because everybody should be double laser. And then obviously I've got I got the tracer unit on it. Mock suppressor tracer unit. It is the blaster. It's the this is the Mark III, Ace-Tech Mark III Predator. And for me, I mean, that's a lot. I generally don't even have that much, but for what I'm going to be doing with this gun, trying to look down the rail, have some kind of sight. It does come with a sight. Having the laser on it, all of that's going to work. Knowing I'm getting ready to play indoors, it being an SMG, knowing that I'm going to be going into rooms that are dark. Absolutely want to have a flashlight. Definitely got to have a tracer unit. Every one of my guns have a tracer unit. Again, especially playing low light indoors, absolute tracer unit. And with the blaster on it, with the Mark III, it actually has the flame effect. So I have found that there is an intimidation factor with the flame effect. And when it does light up, people kind of jump out of the way. So for me, that's plenty and not overkill on accessories on the gun. But I'm one person. I know some people that they've got like 72 things going on their guns. Some people completely naked and as organic as possible.
See, I'm even more simpler than you. For mine, the most I just have red dot, D-hopped, of course, and I have a rail mount for my scope cam. That's it. That's all I run. This I can put on a removable silencer, foam filled. It actually works, but I mean, as bare bones as it needs to go, really. I mean, yeah.
Well,
it doesn't take much to win.
You guys have both mentioned D-hops. I don't want to talk about those. We can talk about them, but they're not considered accessories. That's a barrel. That's a necessity. Gun won't shoot without a barrel.
So the best bit? No, I'm kidding.
Tats, Happy New Year to you, sir. Happy New Year. Glad we all made it this far. Thank you for joining. Absolutely appreciate it. Super, super, super excited to be playing with you in 2 weeks. So looking forward to it. I really, really am. This was built just for that event. Really looking forward to getting out there with you. And we're gonna have a good time going as DEA. What about can't? Yeah. So all right. So optics as a whole. If you have a gun that you're going to use the optics with, if your gun came straight from the factory, pulled it off the wall, and you're out shooting, let's be honest, anything past 60 to 75 feet, it's guess and check. You're fire and adjust. And I'll be there Thursday, by the way. And so if you're there anytime early, we're going to go hang out. Yeah. So my opinion is don't start going after optics necessarily until after you've done something that's going to require the optic. Unless you plan on tuning the optic. If you've got a red dot, make sure you line it up. Make sure you're shooting roughly 100 feet and you're hitting where you're pointing at 100 feet. That's the purpose of the optic. Off a canted sight, absolutely. I've built several. One of Bulldog's SMGs. When I built it, actually, no, I take it back. That was the one for website. His SMG, I put a canted sight on because doing this is difficult, especially on an SMG. If it's right here, you're holding here and it's dead on your eye line, so it's sitting up like this. For sure, a cant sight works. If you feel it's more towards your play. Envision Knox 35 thermal. Absolutely the cheapest in Bizarro World for sure. Um, yeah, again, my opinion on optics is they're great if you use them. That they're absolutely a waste of money other than aesthetics if you're not going to use them. For sure. Guys that play a lot, and I'm glad Tats is on. Steve Tom is on. He runs as a team, as an entire crew. They've been playing for so many years that their kits are designed a certain way. They go out, they play, everything they have, they use. Right? You go up against them. They're a team. They're a team that's to be reckoned with. You find teams like that, find players like that, and look at what they're doing. And most of the time, you'll find that their stuff is not. You do have to look cool. Most of the time, their stuff is not just for aesthetics. It is also function. So definitely, optics is one of those ones that I would say only get it if you're going to use it. Any more on that?
More of a show and tell, I guess. So it depends on how bare bones you want to go on things. And this is gonna speaking of Bizarro World.
Any more on optics is what I meant. Any more on optics?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. This is the SSX 303. What you see is exactly how I run it. This is a long-range pistol carbine kit. They suggest a 1:4 variable zoom magnifier scope. Do what works. If you play with something for a long time, don't use it. I had a red dot on this at the least, and I was like, I'd rather just fisheye it when I play.
Sometimes there are. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I've had scopes. I've had 4 1 magnifications. It's only useful if you use it. I know at the end of the day, this really is just a bunch of grown men in the woods playing G.I. Joe. Even if it looks cool, if it's in the way, it's in the way. I mean, do what works for you. Tats is a great example.
Yeah, I was going to answer Noah too. There's risers you can get, and like what Stu said, not Stu. I'm sorry. Who said Brandon? Like Brandon said, putting a canted. I think I thought I brought it down, and I guess I did. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, you can get canted risers that will mount to the rail and then come off roughly about 45 degrees. And then, so instead of having to try to, if you're wearing large goggles or you're wearing a helmet, try to come down, look behind the sight, and you're bumping up against it so you can't get there. Now you can look off to the side of it. And again, though, make sure that you line it up. You don't throw it on and leave it be. You actually have to line these things up. And you want to line it up where your maximum engagement is, not your minimum, your maximum engagement. Remember, airsoft doesn't travel a mile. So if you know that you're playing at 100 to 150 feet, line your optic up to that. And again, optics definitely fall in that category of great to have if you use it, looks awesome even if you don't, not always necessary.
Yeah.
Pulling from the necessary. High risers help with optics. Those wearing the bulky goggles. Yeah, for sure. If you've got fan goggles, if you've got a bigger set of goggles, risers are definitely going to keep you from bumping up against your rail. Pulling from the gotta have section, in my opinion, gotta have slings. Honestly, having a sling, if you're out playing an event, you're talking about 3 hours at a shot, before your first break. I think my first event I went to, I didn't have a sling, and I remember setting my gun down often, setting my rifle down very often to pull my pistol, to do things like that, or to go do something else. Well, that's a terrible idea. Now you're without your gun. having a sling for it, and then making sure that the sling that you have fits your gameplay. 1 point, 2 point. Learn how to maneuver with it. Learn how to tuck it, whatever it is that you're trying to do. Make sure it works for you. Always test your gear out. That's that should go without saying. Always test your gear out. But a sling to me is a must-have. Sling is definitely one of those accessories you should get really after you get your necessities. After you get your eye pro, your mask, your gloves, things like that. Move to the sling.
Second place for sure in terms of useful attachments, angled grip, foregrip, any kind of grip for your gun is so useful. It is more useful than sights, I would almost argue. Putting just something on your gun, whether it's angle, and literally any kind of grip, is that fits your play style. I have angled grip that I love. I have foregrips that I love, but if I swapped them off of the guns I have onto other ones, I'd hate them. Matching a grip to the style that you play in, I think those are so invaluable for every player, new, old. It's such a useful piece of kit to have on your gun.
Absolutely. Well, so Mo, it's funny you say that because I know you and Bulldog were having that conversation the other day. There's a lot of guys. Yeah, when I was in the Army, when the first time I picked up a rifle, it was a magwell hold. So when I play, a lot of times, especially since I'm short, I've got shorter arms, I'll hold the magwell on M4s. All day long I hold the magwell. It never felt comfortable, especially with a vertical grip. And it took a while for me to get the angled foregrip. Took a little while for me to get used to it. But I'm definitely a magwell holder. Now something like this, a smaller SMG like this, I can do it, but it's even that it's barely angled. I know that there's guys that do this, what's it called, the C clamp. If you're comfortable doing that, absolutely do it. If you're comfortable holding a vertical grip, if you're angled grip, whatever it is, again, it comes down to your comfort level. If you're not comfortable when you're playing, what sense does it make to be playing? Don't get that gear if you don't know how to use it.
And especially for longer guns, you want, like, holding the magwell on a longer weapon is not nearly as tenable as just having the total arm control on the length. Anything I would argue over 30 inches, it's almost, you need something. Holding the magwell, you're losing control just from the sheer length of your barrel. So, what are you reading?
Yeah. No, I was reading. I was reading Stu's. Yeah, the having the sling, having a 2-to-1, absolutely great. Yeah, if you can get, what's up, Jay? How you doing, buddy? If you can get a 2-to-1, works great. Being able to do it. Make sure it's tight enough. Make sure it rides where you want it to. For me, very difficult for me to find a sling that's right. I have to adjust because I'm short. My torso is, that's my torso. The gun has to stay somewhere in this realm. So being able to get that right, it took a long time for me to start learning how to properly use a 2-point. When I did, though, it makes it a lot easier to be able to actually come up and over if I'm changing, depending on what side of a wall I'm on. A single point makes it very easy to just drop and have it hang straight in front and be able to come up with something else. 2-point doesn't do that as easy. You got to actually shove it out of the way. So there's ups and downs to both sides, and definitely, if you can find a good 2-to-1, definitely get that, and then adjust yourself on the fly. My boat release, my season gun won't stay in place back when I need to reload. Yeah, I'll answer that. Give me 1 second, Jay. I'll answer that in 1 second. If you're a guy that does a lot of scaling and climbing, 2-point is a must. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My name's Pat. I do cool guy operator stuff. Well, if you need to climb up your destroyed tank to dispatch the crew, man, get out of here.
Tats, don't mind him. He's just salty. He's not going to Thunderdome.
I just can't wait to see him in Florida for our event.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
throwing out that guilt.
Oh,
Look at you.
where? I went 2-point slings to climb buildings. I can't make it to Florida. Anyways.
If you're not crisscrossing C-clamping, you're not doing it right.
New climbing is like you can't tree. You can't get up or can't get down. What have you got?
Yes, the peanut butter, nice.
So
yeah, I mean, so that, we kind of combined the foregrips and the slings. Again, when you're looking at accessories, I'll say it again before we move on to the next one. When you're looking at accessories, always think about, will I use this? Will I actually use this? Jay, I might. So we talked about it last night. There's a possibility I'll be at Syndicate 3. I'm getting a little bit of pressure from both sides. Jay, are you going to be at Clash of the Titans? There's a question. So
come on, Jim.
Yeah. So the question you should always ask yourself about your accessories is, am I going to use this? I get guys that come in and stuff. I did it again today. Guys come in, they buy Baofangs. Great. Radio is always good to have for communication. Perfect. And then they look right next to it. I carry push to talks, throat mics, ear mores, all that. They're like, okay, do I need this? And I'm like, stop. You don't necessarily need that, because the Baofang comes with a basic push to talk and earwig. Ask yourself, are you going to use these advanced features? Is it something, are you actually going to use your radio? It's worth having, but are you going to use it? So that's that's an example of, do I need it? Will I use it?
And, to comment on that, you don't want to upgrade your gun before you pull the trigger. You don't want to buy a new engine for your car before it hits the road. With anything you purchase, definitely experience what it has to offer you first, and then build a kit around it, especially with a radio. A Baofang, the basic earpiece for the Baofang, this magical, high-quality, China-made 3-cent earpiece will last you years. I know people that have been playing for too long that still use this and swear by it. But then I also know people that didn't last a month with it because they wanted something nicer, or it didn't fit their kit, or they wanted something for their helmet. Definitely test your gear and then change your kit from there. Definitely, always.
Yeah. I went through ear mores over the helmet, over the hat. I stopped wearing helmets because, another great example, helmets don't fit well on me. I loved my helmet because it actually had a drop down face shield. I could wear clear goggles, and then I had tinted lenses that drop down over it. It was great. I just look like a bobblehead, and it doesn't fit right. I got a small noggin, and it just moves all over the place, and that's uncomfortable and impractical. So
I look like the water boy when I wear a helmet. I'm in the same boat. I look awful.
Yeah, I ended up going with a ball cap, which works great for me. When I wear ear mores, when I actually wear, actual cups, I get a migraine. So I had to find something else. I ended up going with a throat mic with an earwig, and it's been wonderful for me. Absolutely perfect. It doesn't get in the way. It sits right here. Never a problem with communication. I can hear everything out of one ear. My other ear is open. Since I have bad hearing anyway, my other ear is open to hear anything else around. So it works great for me. It's it's a necessity if you're going to use a radio to have good communication with that radio. I swear by the earwig. Sorry to hear about your daughter, by the way. No, that's terrible. Sorry, Stu. Or Jay, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. Oh, damn. Steve Tom, I recommend a Home Depot bucket for Toucan for that noggin.
Nobody wants you in Florida. I was in, I was so nice. I miss my friend. I miss my compatriot. I don't.
Talking
and you
about,
look good in the winner circle because you're a winner. Oh, how do you like that? Anyways,
talking about like some of the push to talks. These are some of them. you can get. There's different kinds. One of the things you want to make sure you do, you make sure you get the right one that fits your radio. Make sure you get one that actually works properly with the headset you get. You can get very simple ones that are like this. This is about one step up, if that, from what comes with the Baofangs. It's got a remote push to talk on it. It's got an earwig with it. It's got a mic. Again, it's got to be comfortable. It's got to function. You really want you want to have those factors in there for sure. 1200 what Kevin, what's 1200?
Come on, Kevin. Come on, Kevin.
Can't just say 1200 and leave it hanging out there. You guys. All right, so other accessories, not necessities, accessories. Even kit, going so far as your kit, whether it's a chest rig or just a battle belt or whatever you might have. I went through several. My son, he dresses me now, because I know nothing about how things should pack. I just used to throw stuff in pouches. I knew nothing. Because I never had to do it before. And thanks to him, I learned about how everything goes. And now, I have different kits, different setups, and everything has a feature and a function on it. Nothing extra, and everything fits. So, if you're wearing it, don't wear, my opinion, don't wear a kit just to look cool. Wear a kit carrying, wear a kit that's your mags and things like that. Don't wear it, and make sure you get the right size one. Don't get something that's going to be too bulky and get in the way. Don't get something that's too small and isn't going to carry what you need, or is just going to fit too tight. A kit isn't 100% necessary, but when you get to a certain point, if you're trying to carry 7 to 10 mags on the field, your pockets ain't going to hold them. You need some additional kit, but it's definitely not your first, along with your first purchase. You should get what works with your play style and what works with the gun you're using for that play style.
But
go on.
There needs to be a moniker of style or likability of how you look. I mean,
oh my God. You're the worst. You're not necessarily wrong. I mean, if you look too operator, people are going to call you. They're going to call you Ranger Joe. If you're not operator enough, or you mismatch too much, they're going to make fun of you. I mean, let's be honest. It's these are the sewing circles of airsoft. They're just there. People are just going to talk. So, best if you just get something that works for you. Figure 8 harness, bought it from Army Surplus. I'm pretty sure it was made for someone 3 times my size. Probably not the best option. And to be honest, I'm saying that because I did that as well. My first 2 kits, I didn't choose. My black one actually came. I bought a big giant airsoft lot. The guy was getting out of airsoft, and I bought the whole thing. And it happened to have a kit, and I'm like, that one. And I just grabbed it, threw it on, and ran with it. And then the next one I won in an auction, and it was like 4 times too big for me. And I wore it until I realized it was time to actually buy something for me that fit. And I found that because of my back and because of my hips, if I wear a battle belt, just a battle belt, over time, it actually really starts to strain my hips. So I know that I can't do that. Oh, Orlando, what's going on? I see we're family now, huh? We're family. Family who doesn't buy tickets. Oh.
Me familiar.
I'm still checking to see if I'm going to be able to do it on Sunday, by the way, brother. Jesse, I run a battle belt. What do you say? I run a battle belt. And a 4M4 mag, hold it in a dump pouch. Boom. Yeah. For some people, that's perfect. If that's all you need, that's all you need. Oh geez, we got 10 minutes left. accessory. I mean, there's then you start getting into little things that are, I don't want to say they're silly, but I mean they work great for some people. You start getting into, you know, uh, I would call these accessories. I wouldn't, even though they are weapons on the field. Having some kind of melee weapon is still an accessory. Um, she hurt you. I prefer to show up to local fields, hosting kids' birthday parties in full crowd. Very nice, very nice. Um, uh, Prison shanks. Yeah, I mean, um, these are absolutely not necessary. 100% not necessary. Can they work? Can they function? Can you do something with them? Sure, but they are so far down the necessary list. Almost non-existent. Anybody in the in the chat feel that there's something we missed that would be considered a requirement for an accessory versus something that's just ridiculous. Chris, I don't know if you've got.
You can buy a rail adaptable attachment that holds two 40mm grenades, and it will fire them without any tube, without any barrel. They clip onto the front. You press a button, boop.
All right, now we're talking. That's an example of ridiculousness. Yes, you're absolutely right. The helmet right over my shoulder here, right there. I don't know if you can see it right there. Can you guys see that? That's an example of ridiculousness. This is not a helmet that is a requirement in any form. This thing weighs more than my son did when he was born. It's cool. It's a neat design. This is actual size. It's massive. It's neat though. It really is. It's actually really neat. It opens somehow. I'm not even sure how it opened. Oh, there it is. So I guess not. I guess I was wrong. Yeah, there. Yeah, it opens like that. That's cool. It's got fans inside the ears. That's awesome. Put it on.
Put it on. Put it on.
To actually try to run with it is just insane. It doesn't fog. Actually, it doesn't fog at all because it has.
Put it on.
It has fans built in, and it actually circulates the air. So it
put it on.
You're such a jerk.
Put it on.
Fine. Is this what we're doing today? Oh God. There you go.
I am Buzz Lightyear. I'm Star Man.
No, this is absolutely ridiculous, right? See, this is. I mean, this is just dumb. Let me. I'll give you an example. If I'm running on the field, like at this point, I'm now looking. That's me there. Okay. Yeah, it's not a practical thing. Don't get me wrong. It's cool. It's super cool, and built a little bit tighter, a little bit better, all that maybe, but I mean, it's also got to lose about 4 pounds in order for it to be more efficient, more effective. It's Papa Man, Lord Helmet. I don't believe you put it on, sir. Yes, of course I put it on.
I love it.
And my hair still stayed good.
Easy breezy, L'Oreal.
So it's again, pick your accessories by their practicality and what their use is. But you can also pick them for their aesthetics. I love making my guns look aesthetic. I hate having things on my gun that don't work, that do absolutely nothing for me. Iron Airsofter, beautiful. I like it. It's having added accessories is bad enough. You've got your gun. Having all those things that can get in the way, that can mess with your gameplay. It's just a whole bunch of unnecessary weight and things to rattle and fall off. Flashlight on a rifle, okay. And so I showed before I had the PEC box. You can get a PEC box. You can get a flashlight, rail mounted flashlight. with a remote. With a remote switch or a standard switch, you can get them so that they actually. I actually know guys that had them attached to their triggers. So you actually run the wire to the motor, so it actually strobes with every trigger pull. You can have ones that are just. I don't want to blow the camera out, but this is a red light. The flashlights, I would say, are up there with necessity when you start playing national events, especially indoor-based national events. Going to places like NOPEC, Thousand Lumens. Yeah, and when you turn a corner, you should hear. Um, when you like when we played Mayhem Mill, and when you're playing an indoor event, absolutely flashlight all day long for sure. And again though, make sure it fits on your gun. Make sure you know how to use it. Make sure the batteries are charged. Make sure all that having accessories on just for the sake of having them, meh, not necessarily. Definitely need them in the prison. Yes, thank you for throwing that back. If you're coming down to Clash of the Titans, if you plan on playing inside the prison, especially inside the jail cells, you definitely got to have them in there. There are some points that are pitch black. A lot of them are dim and dark anyway, but down the jail cells, the is it the DFAC? One of the pitch black, absolutely pitch black. You're going to want them. So think about the environment you're getting ready to go play in, and you don't have to spend $1 million on this stuff, guys. Either, it doesn't. I understand there's quality related to name brand sometimes, and that's a fact. I've never and will probably never, ever buy something made by Cry. I also have no intention of taking it around to the chest and being dragged 300 meters.
Yo, bro, it's cry or die. It's cry or die, bro. Come on, bro.
But some people do because they play so much or they do work so hard in it that they want to get their money's worth from it. You buy Emerson, it's going to look as good. But I was just going through some of my stuff. I've got stuff where the stitching is torn. I can't put mags in the pouches anymore. I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen with Cry. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen.
I'm listening to you. We got about
coffee. I might do some coffee in the morning. I will not be doing that. I will actually be on the field this time. I will be head admin on the field, making sure that everything runs smooth. Don't buy Surefire. You're just going to break it. Sounds like you're speaking from experience, Dave. Definitely don't buy the cheaper Lance Tactical Barrett 50 cal all spring. Listen, don't buy cheap or anything. Yeah, if the words cheap come out of your mouth when you're getting ready to buy something, I don't care what it is, don't buy it. Inexpensive is different than cheap.
Don't buy quick. We have a minute 30 seconds. Push the event. Minute 30 seconds.
Guys, don't forget, special guest star going to be February 3rd through the 5th. Tats is going to be there February 3rd through the 5th. Him and all of Dark Horse. They're going to be there. They've said it. They've promised me.
Yep.
February 3rd through the 5th in Immokalee, Florida, the old Hendry County Prison. Clash of the Titans, guys. If you don't know about it, go look it up. Deadandoutfitters.net, Dead and Outfitters on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. Clash of the Titans. Your 1,200 acres, two square miles of gameplay, guys. You don't want to miss this. I promise you, if you miss it, you're going to be upset when you hear people talk about it after the fact. And did I do it? No, we still got 30 seconds left, give or take. So. Yeah, guys, any questions? If anybody has any questions in regards to the Scorpion question that came before, I'll answer it real quick. What's probably happened is your bolt lock slipped in front of the spring. So when you pull back and it's not locking to the rear, there's actually a little clip on the window, and it clips down. You just have to take your upper receiver off and reseat it. That's all. That's funny. Oh, and Ches, good timing. Good luck on your next Xbox adventure.
Yes.
Yeah, he's doing well from what I understand. That's good. Tats, good seeing you. Stu, good seeing you. Anybody that I didn't mention, guys, thank you so much for jumping on. We really appreciate it. All the support. Any questions, feel free to hit us up. Guys, need anything, feel free to hit me up. Happy to do anything. If you think we're lacking in something, feel free to let us know, and we're happy to ignore you. Guys,
Check out our
Papa
store.
Toucan. Yep. You guys have a wonderful day, wonderful evening, wonderful year. We'll talk to you all soon.